If you've been going back and forth about whether to sell your home this year, let me save you months of second guessing. There's 5 clear signs that tell you it's time to sell, and even if 3 of them resonate with you, you need to hear the rest of this. I've sold hundreds of homes across 2 different states since 2008, and the one thing that I've learned is that you cannot time the market. Look, there's pros and cons to every season, and I've seen people make more money in the fall and winter than in the spring and summer. There's just too many variables. And there's too many factors for you to time the market. Now, what you can do is take a good look at your situation and figure out what makes sense for you. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to sell your home. That's your decision, not mine. Now, I earn a whole heck of a lot more business telling people to not list their homes because it's the right decision for them. The question is, when should you sell? Now, what I am going to give you is a framework so you can make a decision with confidence instead of anxiety. Because here's what I see all the time. Homeowners spend 3, 4, 5, 6 months going back and forth, checking Zillow, talking to their neighbor, asking AI, and the whole time they're not getting closer to a decision. They're just getting more stressed. Now, what's worse is that here in Texas, we're a non-disclosure state, meaning the final sales price of the home is not a matter of public record. So there's no way to know what home sold for. Not online, Zillow, Realtor.com, or Redfin, nowhere. The only place to get that information is from a realtor like me. So it's frustrating and a little confusing. And I get it. This is your home. It's probably the biggest financial decision of your life for most. I mean, this decision deserves careful thought, strategy, options, clarity. But there's a difference between careful thought and being stuck. So let's get you unstuck. Hey, by the way, if at any point in this video you realize you're probably closer to a decision than you thought, I've got a tool that can help. It's an appraisal report from the Vision Realty Group. You can get exactly what your home's worth today, what your options are, what results you can realistically expect, no obligations, no commitment, just the information that you need to decide. Links down below. All right, 5 signs it's time to sell your home. Sign number 1, your home no longer fits your life. You bought this house for a reason. Maybe it was to raise the kids. Maybe it was close to work. Maybe it was the right size, but life changes. And look, your kids moved out. You're retired. Your daily commute's different. Something changed, and now you're maintaining a much bigger house than you really need in some circumstances. So if your home has become more house than you need, or you need more house than you have, those are signals. Sign number 2, you're sitting on significant equity. Now, if you own a home for 8 to 15 years in Central Texas or longer, there's a very good chance your equity has grown substantially. Many homeowners don't even realize how much wealth's locked inside their home. That equity can fund your next chapter. A smaller home with no mortgage, a relocation closer to family, or simply a financial cushion for retirement. And so understanding how much money's in your homes, it's a big thing. All right, sign number 3, you're more excited about the next chapter than the current one. Maybe it's being closer to grandkids. Maybe it's a simpler lifestyle. Maybe it's finally living in that lake house or that one story you've been dreaming about. Now, if you find yourself daydreaming about what's next more than enjoying what is, that's not a feeling, that's a direction. All right, sign number 4, maintenance is becoming a burden. The roof's aging. HVAC's on borrowed time. The yard used to be a joy, and now it feels like a job. Every year you wait and those costs compound, and here's the thing no one tells you about. Some of those deferred maintenance items also could affect what you get for the home. Better to sell before the roof becomes a buyer's negotiation weapon. All right, finally, sign number 5, the market conditions favor your move. Now, while inventory in Central Texas leans toward the buyer's market right now in most areas, see me for exceptions, buyer demand from people relocating to Austin and the surrounding area does continue. People think it's not a good market right now. The fact that properties that are priced right still sell in approximately 30 to 45 days. When they're priced right, multiple offer scenarios actually can and still do happen under the right circumstances. By the way, I can help create those circumstances. properties can still sell over asking price. Now, when the market balloons with inventory, that's happening right now in Central Texas, it's true. The competition can push prices downward to a range you might not really be happy about. And there's the rub right there, is that properties are selling. The question is, does that number make sense for you? Because properties still are selling, okay? So just because the market's fat doesn't mean it's slow. The question is, what do you really want? If it's simply and only money, markets that have more inventory might not work for you. Now, if there's real motivation on changing your life for whatever reason, the ends will justify the means. You might not get the money you thought or wanted, but your life will change. You'll get that one story. You'll be closer to the kids. You'll get rid of that debt. You'll be able to buy something at a really great price. Market's literally changing every day. So if you're already thinking about selling, the question isn't, should I? It's, how do I make the most of this? Okay, here's what I know. The difference between a good decision and a great one, it's having the right information. That's exactly what the appraisal report gives you. It's your home's real value, a breakdown of your options, and a clear picture of what you can expect from a free consultation on what it all means. How can I make this work for me? If you want it, or if you don't, you can get the appraisal report without the consultation. It's not required, so you don't have to talk with me. But for certain, the consultation, it's free. And you owe it to yourself to get at least an expert opinion. Click the link below. Let's get you that clarity. No pressure, just answers. Look, at the end of the day, nobody can tell you when the perfect time to sell is. There's no magic moment. But what I can tell you is this. Clarity is power. When you have that accurate information about your home's value, the market, your options, the decision becomes a lot simpler. And that's exactly what we deliver here at the Vision Realty Group. Clarity, options, results. If this helped you think a little deeper about real estate, hit that subscribe button. I'm here every week with real talk about Central Texas market. No fluff, no pressure, just information you need to make a move with confidence when you're ready. And when you're ready, I'm ready. See you in the next one.